I'm Geoffrey Muir, and I'm at the University of St Andrews in Scotland, and I was the principal investigator for the European Survey of Youth Mobilisation, which is the study that we're presenting here. We found that all across the political spectrum, from the far left to the far right, the young people who are engaged in politics think that they are doing it for change. I mean, they really believe that they are trying to change the world. More importantly, they think that they need to try to go out and change the world because they don't feel like institutions listen to them. So across all the political spectrum, there was very, very low trust in institutions. There's very, very low favorability ratings about their governments. There's a sense that the system doesn't function well. And there's a thought that they are the ones that need to go out and do it. Across different groups, there was a different sense, but among some groups, violence was absolutely seen as a legitimate tool to obtain the type of change that they want to accomplish.
It's not new, of course, but over the last few months there have been a number of incidents, not least from the British point of view, the London riots. There is, if you like, the upsurge in quite a lot of research and quite a lot of thinking about the upsurge of extreme rightism in Europe generally. And there's been a lot of myths. There's been a lot of stuff in the media, and not only in the media, online, offline, that suggests that we need to just sit back a bit, with the opportunity, look at what we do actually know, not what we think we know, and start teasing out some of these ideas around radicalism and extremism.
It was an important topic in 2009 when the actual fieldwork was done, but unfortunately it is still an important thing, and I'm afraid that it will remain with us for a long time, partly because of the general crisis, I would say, all worldwide crisis, which hit and I think will remain with Central Europe for at least in medium terms, and hit the young generations especially severely.
We live in an increasingly globalizing world with the challenges it presents. And obviously young people are at the forefront of these challenges. So they are exposed to these turmoils that we experience, the financial crisis, unemployment, etc., more than others. And one of the reasons is that they're properly maybe not equipped to deal with the challenges that they're facing. So to understand the root causes of that, to make sure that the policies and activities resulting from those policies do address those specific issues, I guess the conferences like this one are fundamental, needed to bring together researchers, practitioners, to identify and try to actually collectively address the challenges young people face today.
At the Department of Public Policy, we focus on real-world problems, as we tend to call them. Youth and extremism is certainly one of those real-world problems, and there's a lot of questions entailed that are very interesting and very important to us. For instance, how does youth and extremism relate to the principles of freedom of speech and media policy? How do you deal with extremism in terms of education? What does it mean for education policy?
Students who study in a segregated environment, let it be ethnic minority students or ethnic majority students, and who do not have the chance to meet each other, to cooperate with each other and to get to know each other, will easily take on simplistic views about each other and can be objects to radical views which use stereotypical and prejudiced frames.
Especially on the internet, extremist speech is largely unstoppable. So responding by trying to restrict such speech, it's like jumping on a shadow. I figured out this metaphor and I like it because it's really like it's an ersatz displacement. And then you thought you did something when in fact you didn't know anything. Maybe you did some bad because the restriction to speech might provide an opportunity to restrict legitimate, critical political speech, but it won't stop extreme right speech.
There's a number of issues that a department like ours is interested in, and a number of issues that link us back to the theme and the topic of this very conference. So we are very happy to to host and facilitate.
This space is a multinational space where it is possible to bring people together. The institution does that, and it makes for a nice forum for other organizations, British Council, Open Society Foundation, to do the same. So it seems very appropriate that we're here at CEU.